So you're thinking about taking on one of the wine world's toughest qualifications. Well, you've come to the right place. We're about to break down the WSET Level 3 award in wines and give you a complete strategic guide to not just surviving it, but succeeding.
Let's just start with the most important number you need to burn into your brain. 50%. That is the stark, global pass rate for the WSET Level 3 exam. This isn't just another course, it is a serious academic challenge. And that number right there is all the proof you need.
I love this comment from a Reddit user who had just passed. It says everything, doesn't it? It's a massive achievement for sure, but the journey to get there is famously tough. Everyone who takes this on goes through this exact same mix of pain and pride. Honestly, just knowing that from the get-go is half the battle.
Okay, so with that 50% pass rate front and center, let's define the mission. What exactly is the WSET Level 3, and what makes it such a monumental leap?
At its heart, Level 3 is all about giving you a truly deep, comprehensive understanding of wine, from the vineyard all the way to the bottle. It's not just about what a wine tastes like, but why it tastes the way it does. And it's the internationally recognized gold standard for anyone who's serious about wine.
This slide really hits the nail on the head. See, Level 2 is all about learning the what. What grape grows where. But Level 3? Oh no, it's all about the how and the why. You have to go way beyond just memorizing facts and start analyzing and connecting really complex ideas. It's the difference between using a phrasebook on vacation and becoming truly fluent in the language of wine.
And yeah, getting that fluent takes time, a lot of time. WSCT says you need a minimum of 84 hours of study. And let me tell you, for most people, it's a lot more. To put that in perspective, that's over 2 full 40-hour work weeks dedicated just to studying. This is not something you can cram for, it is a huge personal commitment. All right, let's break down the obstacles. To pass this thing, you've got to conquer a 3-part exam. Understanding how these pieces fit together and where the real traps are is absolutely critical to your strategy.
So the exam is split into 3 distinct hurdles. You've got multiple choice, you've got short written answers, and you have a blind tasting of 2 wines. And here's the kicker, you have to score at least 55% on each of them, individually. You can't ace the theory and hope it'll make up for bombing the tasting. It just doesn't work that way.
So, where do most people stumble? While the blind tasting can be pretty nerve-wracking, the data and countless stories from past students all point to one main culprit, the short written answer section. This is where that massive jump from what to why is really put to the test.
Let's use a quick example to see why this is so tough. A question won't just ask you to name a region like Coonawarra that's famous for Cabernet. No, it's going to force you to connect dots from all over the curriculum, linking climate, soil, the grape itself, and winemaking techniques.
And get this, to fully answer just one question about Coonawarra Cabernet, you have to pull in knowledge about similar styles from California and Chile, plus specific details from the general winemaking chapter. You are literally combining info from 4 different parts of the textbook to build a single cohesive answer. That is the leap from Level 2 to 3.
Okay, let's switch gears and talk about the practical stuff, resource allocation. Because this qualification isn't just a major investment of your time, it's also a pretty big investment of your money. So let's break down the true cost. Just looking at providers across Australia, you can see the base tuition fee varies a lot by city. We're talking just under $1,600 in Sydney, but almost $2,000 in Perth. But that upfront price tag, that isn't the whole story. The really crucial difference when you're comparing courses comes down to the wine itself. In-person classes, they usually include all your tasting samples, and we're talking over 70 different wines sometimes. Online courses give you that great flexibility, but you have to buy all those wines yourself. And all of a sudden, that cheaper online option can get a whole lot more expensive when you're tacking on another $1,500 or more for bottles.
And hey, remember that 50% pass rate? Well, that means you have to build some contingency planning into your budget. The cost to resit a failed part of the exam varies wildly between providers. I mean, just look at the difference in the tasting resit fee from just $95 at one place to $200 at another. That is a huge variable in your total financial risk. Okay, we've defined the objective, we've analyzed the obstacles, and we've calculated the resources. Now it's time for a concrete plan of attack. What are the proven tactics for passing WSET Level 3?
For the tasting exam, your Bible is the SAT, the Systematic Approach to Tasting. This is WSET's very rigid framework for analyzing wine, and here's the absolute key.
Your grade isn't based on how well you taste, but on how precisely you write about it. So many people fail not because their palate is off, but because their written notes just don't follow the SAT's strict criteria to the letter.
A winning study campaign has a few key stages. First, you build your foundation with detailed notes, chapter by chapter. Then, you have to synthesize that information by creating new notes organized by grape or by region, basically mimicking what the exam is going to ask you to do. Finding a study group to calibrate your palate is invaluable. And finally, here's a pro tip. One of your 4 written questions will always be on either sparkling or fortified wines. You have to master those chapters.
Choosing your provider is a huge strategic decision. You want to look for top-tier instructors, people with the WSET diploma or even better, the title of Master of Wine. You need to confirm you'll be tasting at least 70 wines. Compare those resit fees like you're buying insurance for your brain. And definitely book early so you can get your textbook and start studying way before the first class even starts.
So let's wrap this briefing up. Look, the WSET Level 3 is a mountain to climb, and that 50% pass rate is no joke. But it is not an insurmountable challenge. It's a calculated one that can absolutely be beaten with the right intelligence, the right strategy, and a whole lot of discipline. The path requires serious dedication, for sure, but the reward is a level of knowledge that will completely transform how you see and experience wine for the rest of your life. You've seen the mission briefing, so the only question left is, are you ready to earn that celebration bottle?